Good afternoon. I'm Kyle Ardwan, Louisiana Secretary of State. Standing with me are my assistants, and standing behind me are our clerks of courts and registrars of voters who are our local election officials. Louisiana is no stranger to natural disasters and well adapted at navigating any situation Mother Nature throws our way. While hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes are at the forefront of all Louisianians' minds, the threat we face from the COVID-19 virus is an unprecedented threat and unlike any we have faced. The law provides for extraordinary measures to be taken when faced with an emergency or disaster. In our election code, revised statute 18:401.1 states, Section A, due to the possibility of an emergency or common disaster occurring during or before or during a regularly scheduled or special election, and in order to ensure maximum citizen participation in the electoral process and provide a safe and orderly procedure for persons seeking to qualify or exercise their right to vote, to minimize whatever degree possible a person's exposure to danger during declared states of emergency and to protect the integrity of the electoral process, it is hereby found and declared to be necessary to designate a procedure for the emergency suspension or delay and rescheduling of qualifying early voting and elections. Section B states the governor may, upon issuance of an executive order declaring a state of emergency or impending emergency, suspend or delay any qualifying of candidates, early voting, or elections. The governor shall take such action only upon the certification of the Secretary of State that a state of emergency exists. A clerk of court, as the chief elections officer of the parish, may bring to the attention of the Secretary of State any difficulties occurring in his parish due to natural disasters, end quote. Today, I have certified that a state of emergency exists and requested that the governor issue an executive order postponing the elections this spring. We have requested postponing the April 4th primary election until June 20th and postponing the May 9th general election until July 25th. My staff will be handing copies of the emergency certification upon completion of this press conference. This office has used this provision in law before, most notably delaying the elections in 2005 after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, and 2008 after Hurricanes Gustav and Ike. This weighty decision has been made out of an absolute abundance of caution for Louisiana's voters, voting officials, and the general public as a whole. And there were many factors that led us to arrive to this conclusion. First and foremost, we want to protect the health and safety of all Louisianians by doing our part to prevent the spread of this highly infectious disease. One key stakeholder in our decision is our election day polling commissioners. Louisiana has almost 3 million registered voters who vote at nearly 4,000 precincts in over 2,000 polling locations. And of Louisiana's election day commissioners, over half are 65 and older. Of those 2,000 polling locations, 32 are in nursing homes, senior citizens, or other locations associated with senior population across 16 parishes. The CDC warns that the older adults, people who face serious chronic medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, or lung disease, are the people at risk for serious illness from COVID-19. A few of the CDC recommendations for elections and election officials, we are recommending the following. Stay at home if you have fever, respiratory symptoms, or believe you are sick. Practice hand hygiene frequently. Wash hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Practice routine cleaning of frequently touched surfaces with household cleaning spray or wipe, including tables, doorknobs, light switches, handles, desks, toilets, faucets, and sinks. Disinfect surfaces that may be contaminated with germs after cleaning. A list of products with the EPA-approved emerging viral pathogens claims is available at their website. Products with EPA-approved emerging viral pathogens claims are expected to be effective against the virus that causes COVID-19 based on data for harder-to-kill viruses. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for all cleaning and disinfection products. And last, clean and disinfect voting associated equipment, voting machines, laptops, tablets, keyboards routinely, which we will be doing. The 2-month delay of this election will allow our office to continue to procure necessary supplies to put our state in the best possible posture for the time when this election is conducted. We will continue to closely monitor the situation and evaluate the situation in the lead up to the June election. I want to thank the governor and his staff for working with us in a bipartisan manner to accomplish this mission. Safe and secure elections also mean safety to the people of Louisiana. That's why I signed the certification. I'll take any questions you may have.
Do you know if any other states who are having elections around the same time or making similar moves to delay their presidential primaries?
I don't know if any others are delaying. I know that there are several elections scheduled for Tuesday of next week in other states, so we'll just have to stay tuned. But I have not gotten any calls from any other election officials. No. So we spent most of yesterday working as a team looking for ways to try to carry out the election. We kept running into barrier after barrier. And in consulting with the good people behind me, our concern was for our polling commissioners ultimately and the people of Louisiana. So we felt it imperative that we look at the solution of postponing the election. When I contacted the governor's office, I think that there was some relief in us coming to that decision. And then we talked throughout the evening and agreed to it. As soon as the governor's office and I agreed to this, then I called the House and Senate leadership, the president and the speaker, and then spoke to the 2 committee chairs for the governmental affairs committees in both bodies. And all were in complete agreement that this was important. I held a conference call this morning with all the state's registrars of voters and the clerks of court, and there was a relief with that decision as well. They were very complimentary of our efforts, and we look forward to working with them to get this election, provided all circumstances are available, to have the election in June and July.
Is there any consideration of expanding mail-in ballots or absentee voting so that anyone could do it?
So every option is on the table. It would take emergency actions further, but at this time, the concern is we would have to change our entire system within 60 days, and I think that's pretty impossible to do. If you go back to Governor Blanco's executive order for Katrina, we had 6 months or more to prepare for an election around the country. So we can pull off elections after disasters or issues like this, but we have to have more time than 30 or 60 days. Is that it? Thank y'all very much. God bless the great state of Louisiana, and pray for a safe conclusion to this situation concerning the entire world. Thank you. Thank y'all.